Now can you hear me, guys? Do let me know. Let me double check that, guys. I would presume it should be working now. Yeah, there we go. Right. Sorry about that. So, happy Monday for everyone. It's going off to a great start, as always. Anyone that was waiting for eVTOL Weekly there last night, I do apologize. I have tonsillitis at the moment, so I could not stream last night. Fair Play Dylan did run AX Spaces for anyone that got to catch that, but I will be trying to run eVTOL Weekly tonight. And if Dylan's free, we'll try and get him in there too. It's been a bit of a strange weekend, hasn't it? So we had Trump come out and say that Iran had 48 hours to open up Strait of Hormuz, if not to attack their energy infrastructure. And from what I get, their energy infrastructure will include nuclear power plants. So you'd have the likes of mini Chernobyls everywhere. Trump did come out then. Let me bring it up on screen. He did come out within the last while. How long ago was it? About 2 hours ago or so. And say that he's pleased to report that the United States of America have had positive talks with Iran. No, he's called off the likes of the attack on the energy infrastructure at the moment. However, it's not all good from there. So Americans have reacted quite well, but Iran have since came out and said that no talks have taken place. So is this Trump trying to buy a little bit of time? Did Iran call his bluff? Or has he been having positive talk? I think Trump would back down. I think he would go in with the hammer. So I'm taking it at face value. I believe what Trump is saying is true. And we know the Iranian regime is like for the likes of propaganda. They want to keep face, don't they? They can't have themselves backing down to Trump. So that's what's been going on over the past few hours. Markets seem to like it. They pushing up at the moment pre-market. Remember how I said I'm doing a portfolio? We should have that up and running tonight. So because I already have two portfolios, I actually create a Robinhood one, but as you know, I'm in Ireland, and Robinhood only does brokerage accounts in the UK. They do crypto accounts over here, but brokerage accounts in the UK. So at the moment, I'm having to verify my address from over there. So it's taken up to 48 hours, it says. However, what we will do tonight, if we haven't been verified by then, by the way, bit of advice, never trying to set up a brokerage account on Sunday evening. This is what happens. But if it's not verified by tonight, what we'll do, I'll open up a separate brokerage. I don't know who with trading 212. I don't know. I'll open it up with someone and we can do some investing there. And then once we get the verification from Robinhood, we'll just transfer it all across. How does that feel? Has anyone got any other brokerage? Specifically, if you're from Europe, have you any other brokerage I could go for? I invest in eToro, so I can't go with eToro again. I do have a trading 212, but they do let you have a second one on trading 212. So guys, do let me know. Now, the only thing I wouldn't like to go on trading 212, they don't do Horizon Aircraft. eToro do Horizon Aircraft, but trading 212 don't. No, I realize because I've green screened myself to put myself on this image, all the green has gone transparent. So can you put up with that, or would you prefer me to change that? Do let me know. Now, let's get into the chat here. So Kinya says, he raises the coffee. Good morning. Good morning, my guy. Have a great show. No problem, my guy. Dyke Jackson, what's up, Liam? You're always here, my guy. One of our supporters. You can't ever call. definitely can't. No volume. Thank you so much, guys. And we have the volume back. Has anyone seen Joby's San Francisco demonstration? They have pushed themselves steps ahead. I will cover that on eVTOL Weekly. We might even bring the video up and show some of it. But myself, Dylan, and Goat Games were actually speaking that if there's any catalyst that can push the eVTOL industry forward, this is one massive one. This demonstrates the flying capability in regards to range as well of these eVTOLs, and no one can say they're cutting and shifting and changing. You know, we get all that type of nonsense. So I was quite excited to see Joby up in the sky. I'm receiving my socks any day now. So once I have the socks, I will show them here on screen, guys. But Joby Aviation at the moment, where we sitting, is pushing up. We had a brutal Friday. Trump did come out after hours and say the Strait of Hormuz is not really their problem and they're looking to pull out. And then after that, it seems like he doubled down and said, right, open up Strait of Hormuz or they're going to go in heavy. So I don't know, guys, do smash that like button as soon as you get in and also smash that subscribe button. What are we at the moment? We haven't actually moved for a long while. Look, we were climbing massively and then we've just got flat since I started doing live streams. So if you want us to keep up with the live streams, do smash that subscribe button and also smash that like button. Turner says, good morning. Apologies, can't stay for the whole thing, but keep up the good work and don't worry about the war. No, thank you so much. I think people took me up wrong yesterday. If anyone's seen my video, I said it's hard times. I'm not looking to sell out of Virtual Joby. It's just I'm getting lots of questions about should we sell out of Virtual Joby and then wait for lower. I have no intention of selling out of Virtual Joby. You'll see me even buying Archer and Joby on this community challenge. So don't panic. I am here to stay when it comes to Archer and Joby. I'm actually setting it up quite nicely. Once my throat gets better, I will start rolling out more videos again with Archer and Joby in conjunction with these live streams. We're not going live streams and not videos. We're going to add in a bit of both. In the end, a time-bound military operation provides market benefit only when the timer runs out. I think the market is reacting to the fact that we're acknowledging we need a timer. That's the thing with what's come out today. Trump says they've had positive talks and war could be over soon. Iran says they haven't had positive talks and Trump has backed down. One of them's going to be right. Now, if I was Iran, I would actually be, even if Trump was making it up, I would just be staying silent. Because if not, Trump could just go back and double down on taking out your energy infrastructure. Have you seen? Oh, have we just opened that? So we have Joby Aviation. We did get a gap up, but we're falling all the way down. Let's go through all the positions. Again, S&P has fired up when we have got a nice gap up, but what I don't like about that, we could cover that gap. So 1.35% up. Ondas, we remember Ondas did buy some unusual machines there on Friday. So Ondas back at 1.49%. Unusual machines, speaking about it, are pushing up again after that massive sell-off, but that was all to do with dilution. They're sitting quite flat at the moment. Zeta, anyone that's interested in Zeta, 0.83%. Iron's a fan favorite. A lot of people are excited about Iron. Is it something we should add to the community? We know 1.55% up. Archer, 1.05. Are we going to reclaim that $6 range this week? Have we found the bottom around 575? I don't know. I can see a little bit more pain coming if the macro doesn't hold up, but it's great to say that we're pushing up. Joby, hopefully people have seen the San Francisco flight over the weekend, so this is a great opportunity for Joby. They're pushing forward. Yes, we have the bad news about Dubai, but at the same time, they're pushing forward We've actually getting flights out showing their range, and look, any month now we can push towards getting that final stages of certification done. Redwire is pushing down 4.46%. Guys, we will check out what's happening with Redwire. It doesn't seem that there's any great news going on at the moment. I'd expect um, space stocks to push up. Did you see that Terrafab with SpaceX, XAI, and Tesla? And they're expecting that factory to be so much bigger than the Gigafactory. So yeah, we have Pan W sitting quite flat, 0.1. Nvidia then 2.47%. Nvidia actually had a shock sell-off. Well, not really a shock sell-off, but there was no reason for Nvidia to sell off apart from the whole macro environment after Jensen Huang's comments last week. Tesla up 2.4%. Remember, we said that was a massive opportunity there, especially now after that conference. It wouldn't surprise me if Tesla finishes the day Green Horizon aircraft push below that 180 resistance, up 174. Great opportunity at the moment. What I might do, guys, while I'm actually on air, I might actually buy a bit of Horizon aircraft for my own portfolio, and I'll show it to you as it goes through. Horizon aircraft doing extremely well. Intuitive Machines. Intuitive Machines up 5.5%. This is what I was expecting from the space industry. Let me get back in. Dominic says vertiports that Joby has in Dubai hasn't been hit yet. No, I don't believe they have been, but look, it's not even the infrastructure being hit, it's just at a moment there'll be the airspace be completely restricted. Guys, did you see that Canadian Airlines plane that hit the fire truck? I think 2 have died and I don't know how many are injured, but that wasn't great last night, was it? I got 2 market shows going right now at work. Big shout out, Jonathan. Thank you so much for the support. I would say your second one is probably a MIT, and I love everything MIT does. So do jump across to a MIT, give them a like. Then good morning, y'all. Big shout out, my guy. Oh dang. Yes, it's a MIT. A MIT's the only one I will accept there. Anyone that jumps across to a MIT, big shout out. We love what a MIT does. And we want to just do something a little bit different. We don't want to go in competition with a MIT because number one, we're nowhere near big enough to go in competition with him. And number two, he's just great at what he does. Let's not challenge someone at doing something that they do best. What we want to do, we want to, once we get this community portfolio open, we want to be more relative to the everyday working person. We're going to start with a small amount and drive it forward. But what you guys are going to do, we're going to use more pulls than ever for you to steer my portfolio. It won't always be me doing the move. You guys will be doing the move for me. And just please don't take the absolute mick out of me. I think if 5, 6 people banded together, you could probably sell off. I thought it would open red. Glad I'm wrong. I actually, when I seen Trump come out with it, I knew it'd be green until I seen Iran come out like 20 minutes later and say it didn't happen. I thought it was going to go back red again. But it seems that America is trusting what Trump is saying over what the Iranian regime, and who can blame you? Guys, did you see that video that Iran put out taking the absolute mick out of Trump and how they're going to charge $2 million for the Strait of Hormuz? I can get it up, but I don't want to be banned for copyright. So what I might do, I might actually share the link in the chat. ADMA, the biopharmaceutical company that our friend had the last day, is up 2.23%. ATAI, another biotech, these actually specialize in antidepressants. So one that's in that whole health industry, 0.72% up. Beta Technologies had a brutal day. It sold off around 7%. At one stage, we were down 10% on Friday. So we're up 1.3. Could we just fill this gap and then push forward? Hopefully we don't. start pushing down again. Planet Labs doesn't surprise me that there's a bit of a sell-off. We have to give a big shout out to Christian. Christian got out right at the top here and he called it on the stream. He didn't call it once it started coming down here that he sold off. He actually called it straight away that he sold off there. So Christian has made a nice amount of money, down 4.43%. But look at that run they had post earnings. Planet Labs, if anyone doesn't know, is a satellite imagery company. Anyone that's familiar with the likes of Black Sky, they'd be their biggest competition. The only thing I didn't particularly like about Planet Labs, their management seemed to be very environmentally focused, if you get me. And my whole problem with environmentally focused industries is that is no problem. And look, I was an animal scientist by trade, so environment is great. But when it comes to making money, come here now. I think that should take priority in the investing space, if you get me, because we're putting our money into your company. So we don't need green projects, if you get me. And that's coming from the man investing in eVTOLs. But then with Black Sky, there's people speaking about the likes of Rocket Lab acquiring Black Sky. That way they'd have a satellite imagery company as well attached to them. Rocket Lab, guys, if you remember, about a third of their business is launch. Everyone thinks you invest in Rocket Lab because you're investing in the rockets and you're taking on the competition like SpaceX. That is very little of what Rocket Lab actually do. And then when you actually compare what Rocket Lab do compared to what SpaceX do, it's completely different. It's like saying I don't know, a bus company and a truck company, semi-truck company are the same thing because they drive a big wagon and they're on the road. They still do 2 different jobs. These guys focus heavily on space systems. They don't only launch your satellite, but they also manufacture and operate your satellite. They have the keys to space. So I am massively in Rocket Lab. Amtech's still pushing forward. I need to get my video out about Ampex. And Prius is up 0.4%. We did have a nice push up on earnings. I still think my buy range around $14. I've seen some people are saying their buy range between $14 and $16. I think a good fair value for these around $11.50 to $12, but I want skin in the game, so $14 is where I want to go. ASTI, Ascent Solar Technologies. These, if you think of it, they're only 36.54 million market cap, yeah? I'm not into micro market cap. I need to reassess that now, because I'm in a rising aircraft, and these guys actually excite me a little bit, especially the fact that they've spoken recently about space solar beaming. So once you have your solar panel in space, it's 10 times more efficient than it is down here on the Earth. It's also cheaper to produce because there's no weatherproofing needed. If you think about it, it's only the actual solar panel you need because there's very little space weather that will influence these. However, micrometeorites is one thing, but we've just replaced the actual panel rather than putting weatherproofing case on them because if a micrometeorite hits a weatherproofing case, it's still going to shatter it. EOS, another energy company. These are for battery storage units, especially when grids go out. Those people are excited about EOS. I've seen nice little reviews being done recently on X. I have heard their management is a little bit shaky at the moment. So, guys, do let me know a few updates on it. We get into our quantum then. I am the fan favorite, 1.83% up. We're around $31.77. Guys, if you look at it, we've had a nice push down over the last while. This is quite nice value for IonQ if you're not in. I do apologize, guys. I have tonsillitis and I also have a cold at the moment. So if you hear me sniffing and my voice going, that's exactly why. RGTI up 1.08, 1507. Any of you guys in it? Do let me know. Qbit up 1.29%, 1.58 billion market cap company could get a nice push there. Um, I'm not massively in this industry at the moment. If I had to go in, it'd be IonQ, but that's because I know the most about IonQ in that company or in that sector. INFQ is 1.31% up. FEIM is up 2.18, 41.26. IBRX up 6.85%. Guys, do let me know what's happening at IBRX at the moment. It is up to 905. That cold beach mess up your sinuses, mate. You know, that cold beach is why I went. Um, because remember the day before at the stream, I kept saying I need to go for a break. My throat is starting to kill me. Oh, mate, that evening, um, it was killing. So I went to the beach to try and clear it, but nah, it didn't. SoFi up 0.65%, 1701. Did Archer and Joby have a flash crash this morning? Or is that Robin Hood glitch? Archer hit 550. I didn't see that, but we can have a look. It must have been a flash crash. Yeah, it must have been a flash crash. But I can't see it here, my guy. Did you manage to get in? And also, do you think we'll fill that gap? That actually has been filled, doesn't it? Right, guys, do smash that like button as we're getting in. I also want to see the poll. So, will we finish? What will we finish this week? Green, flat, or red? 17 of you have voted. 47% of you have said green. Is that all to do with the news we've got this morning around Trump saying that he's had positive talks with Iran? Flat 18%. I can see why a little bit unchanged. We did get a nice sell off last weekend, but look, if conflict continues, I'm in agreement with 35% red. I don't want to be, but red seems to be all we know now recently. Let me just okay. So we know that Trump came out and said that um, they've had talks with Iran. We know Iran have came out and said that hasn't happened. Do jump into the poll there and let me know who do you believe? Do you believe Trump or do you believe Iran? I believe most of you are going to say Trump, but do let me know. I want to bring up. I did have what the Iranian regime came out and said. Let me see if I can find it here, guys. Guys, Ondas have now raised their revenue guidance to 375 million. That's a 120% increase from prior guidance. Ondas, what are we doing at the moment? 0.1% down. So it's quite flat. I would expect it to push up. Yeah, they have raised their guidance. Um, Iran releases warning following Trump's threats. You strike hospitals, our emergency center, and our schools. We did not do the same, but if you strike our power plants, we will do the same. And I did see information last night that potentially 30% of the internet, uh, or the world's internet cables do run through the Strait of Hormuz, and they said they could be targeted to take out around 30% of the world's internet. That way you'd have the likes of banks, markets completely crash. Could you see them targeting the likes of communications like that? They're only putting themselves at risk though by doing the such because surely they'd knock out their own internet around there. 95% of the world's internet is cable-based, so it'd be through undersea cables, etc. Is that a massive benefit of the likes of Starlink and ASTS at the moment? Could we see a nice push forward if they do attack the likes of their infrastructure? Um, we could see many, many customers start swaying towards space state-based Wi-Fi. I ordered 100 shares of Joby, but only got 5. Do you know what? Fair play, though. What did it drop to? 8.90. Got them on the flash crash. Someone fat fingered and sold their order. Uh, that's why I always sing with random lows. That's why you'd want to be very careful selling at opening bell, wouldn't you? But that's someone trying to get out of Joby, whether it's try and reallocate. They're expecting a lower push down. Ondas double guidance reported this morning. Call Wednesday morning. 375 million. Price to sales. I think this 12 forward price to sales in this sector, that's near value play. CMC, if you're not covering, Chris, if you're not covering ONDS, we might cover ONDS earnings on Wednesday. Yeah, 12.13 for price to sale. And Rocket 45 and ASTS is around 180. 180 is wild, isn't it? But I am incredibly bullish on ASTS too. Even though I don't actually hold ASTS, Iran is gonna talk tough no matter what. I completely agree. 20% believe Iran though. 80% believe Trump. 20% believe Iran. Whoever believes Iran, do let me know why you believe Iran. I don't think Trump is messing around, not gonna lie. Right, guys. Any stocks for us to look at? Anything exciting going on at the moment? Do jump into the chat. Let me know. Let me just see what's been going on across the sector at the moment. Yeah, did anyone see that plane crash that happened? Canadian Airlines. It sounded like I listened to the to air it sounds like they approved the truck to go through, and then 2 seconds later they're shouting stop. It was too late. Yeah, seems to be staying on that everywhere. So I'm surprised that Ondas is sitting quite flat at the moment. The odds of the war ending have now been pushed up to 36%, they're saying. Russia warns against or the US against striking Russian-built nuclear power plants. Is that why we're starting to see a little bit of the backstance from Trump at the moment? Never had ASTS myself, my little CVV. Have CVV, OPTX, and laser are my morning movers. Let's have a look. CVD equipment. They are what are they up at the moment? 13.17%. You in CVV, Chris? Let's have a look at that. It's not China, is it? It's this one. 25.67 million market cap. Develops, manufacture, and sells equipment to develop and manufacture materials and coatings in the United States. CVD equipment, stainless design and concepts for mesoscribe. CVD equipment segments offers chemical. Did we look at this the last day? LEDs, carbon nanotubes, nanowires, solar cells, and other, as well as semiconductors. They have 188 employees, and they're based out of New York. Guys, I'm gonna have to run and get a tissue for a second, but I will be back in about 30 seconds. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna share my screen there. Right, guys, thank you for anyone that waited around there. Jesus, the majority of you waited around. Thank you so much for that. So, yeah, let's see. So, looking across at the financials of CVD, let's go over the last quarter. So, revenue seems to be climbing. Total revenue 7.408 million. Gross profit of 202.421 million. 0.308 operating. CVV is a turnaround play. They went nearly bankrupt. They trimmed headcount and moved to contract manufacturer for low value process. They have their own building and safety net is there. They could play their own equity for the emergency capital they did before with enough facility during COVID. 8.3 million. Total assets 18. Oh, I see what you're saying. What's their outlook looking like, Chris? No data available. Let's have a look at their ownership days. So we were saying their market cap was tiny though, wasn't it? Yeah, 26. So these are quite big sales. 120,000 two top investors have sold out within the last quarter. Looking at the insiders. Ooh, we haven't got any sell out over the past while. So I don't know. I don't know if I touched them, my guy. Uh, the equipment for silicon carbide molds, gas equipment for semiconductor industry, and ceramic matrix composites for aerospace and hypersonics. Supposed to report soon, but I don't have a date. It's a binary play. Okay. Welcome back. Thank you so much, Jonathan. What was your other one? OPTX. Have these ran big this morning as well? Chris, you do get in some nice plays, don't you? 5.35% up. Where have we been? Oh, what's the market cap? 258. Okay. Syntec Optics. So they're 235 million market cap, 36 million shares outstanding. What do they do? Manufacture supplies, integrated optics and photonics components, subsystems, and optical systems for defense, medical, and consumer and end market worldwide. It offers polymer-based optics and optical assemblies. You love the optics at the moment. Are these infused into the drones? Do let me know. They're based out of New York as well, 159 employee key financials. Not the key financials. We're looking at the financials. 27.9 million. There we go. 6.95 million. What's the story behind these? High risk for sure. Supposed to report soon. Guys, don't be afraid to jump in. Let me know what stocks you want covered. So 0.578 million with 14 million in total current assets. Total assets of 24.57. Looking at the liabilities, 11.93. Short-term debt of 8.219. Long-term debt. They look very dodgy, no? Space optical terminals and headset optics slightly fur and eagle eye, lightweight polymer molded optics, good for drones, headsets, and space. Okay. What's ownership say? Guys, if you're interested in software like that and Gainify, it's actually quite nice. You don't even have to get the paid version. I only use the paid version because you can see the likes of the insider selling and the top investors. Don't know many of the stocks talked about here, just listening and trying to learn. Not a big shout out. So, looking at the top investors, 52,000 have sold off. So, I wouldn't be too worried about that. And we've no data on the insiders. Last price was 703, and the range, its all time high was 915. I, I wouldn't be jumping into them, but who am I to go against Chris? Chris seems to make an awful lot of money in these types of plays. And if you're looking at today, it is up what 7% was it? 7.23%. So thank you so much for that, Chris. The best opportunities are in supply chains. 80% owner owned. Ooh, okay. And then what was your last one that you wanted looked at? Wasn't it laser? Yeah, it was laser. Up 6.31%. Okay, this is looking a little bit bigger, 3.9 billion. What the laser do? I presume this laser terminals, is that? I'm already up 90% on optics. You seem to find all the decent players, don't you? Market cap 3.95 billion. Price to revenue is 12.90. So guys, anyone that doesn't know what that is, that's for every 12.90 that you spend, you're getting $1 of revenue out of the company. And this price target of 73.50. And where are we sitting at the moment? 69.91. Now I'm not too pushed on analysts, but 7 of them have given that average price target. The projected for 16.8% revenue growth over the next 3 years. And then they manufacture and sell semiconductor and fiber lasers for industrial microfabrication and aerospace and defense applications. The company operates through 2 segments: laser products and advanced development. It offers semiconductor lasers with various range of power levels, wavelengths, and output fiber sizes. The company also provides fiber beam combination and control systems to high energy laser systems, direct energy applications. It sells through direct sales force to the United States, China, South Korea, and European countries. It's based out of Washington, guys. Laser's a new position for me. Got sick of waiting for an entry and started buying the top FU class burn up missiles and drone style lasers. I'm up 5% on it. Lasers actually interest me. Did they use any of the energy transfer lasers? Wait, I'm in the wrong one there. Financials. Looking over the quarter, revenue seems to be pushing up. 81.185 million. It's increasing the gross profit 24.54 million. Operating profit is 5.405. We have a operating income of 0.768. Net income is negative 4.9, but it is increasing. EBITDA of negative 0.629 million. I actually like these. Total cash and short-term investments is 133 million. Okay. Total current assets 243.19. Non-current is 74. Total assets 318. Liabilities. Here we go. They've taken on an extra 30 in the last year. Total liabilities of 91 million. What's the growth story saying? I don't really like that. They're saying it's 5% undervalued. Ownership. Are we getting any sellers? I actually don't mind them too much, Chris. You're testing a 1 megawatt laser, strong synchronistically built lasers for Israel's Iron Beam. Um, Top investors are selling off in the last quarter. Is that because we pushed towards the all-time high? Oh, it's not incredible, but it's still significant. I don't know. I actually don't mind them. I actually think, guys, if you're interested in that whole laser industry, I actually think they're a decent little shout. I prefer them most out of the three we looked at there. So thank you so much, my guy. Um, NVIDIA IDX4 for aircraft cockpits. Let's see what's going on across the industry at the moment. I want to see, is there any update on Iran? VU seems to be pushing up nicely. So S&P Justin, President Trump says he'll likely hold phone talks with Iran today and claims they both want to make a deal. Okay, here we go. This is what Trump replying here. President Trump responds to Iran denying a statement of productive discussions and the end of the war. He hopes that US and Iran will meet soon and settle this. He plans to get together with Iran via phone call, and Iran would like to make a deal. We would like a deal too. The US has talked to Iran's top respected leader. We want to see no nuclear weapon for Iran. Buckle up for another volatile week ahead. How are we feeling about the markets this week? Are we still a little bit worried, or do you think it's all going to go a little bit better? Let me actually run a poll there. Um, okay, let me know how excited you are for the week ahead. You're calm, or you're a little bit more fearful. Guys, anyone that has just entered the stream, I said we're doing a community portfolio. I should have had it this morning. Never try and create a portfolio on a Sunday evening because I'm based in Ireland and Robinhood is only in the UK. Yes, they do the crypto, not in the UK. I have tried to set up a Robinhood. Do have an address that I can do it through, but they're currently verifying the address. They said it will take 48 hours, so hopefully we'll have it this evening. If we don't have it this evening, what I'm going to do, I'm going to either create a trading 212 account, or if any other brokers you think I should use Europe. I'm not particularly pushed in using trading 212 because they don't actually cover that many stocks. But what we would do then, we would, once the Robin comes through, we would transfer from this account to that account. So let me know what you think. Also, let me know what um, stocks you want us to start buying. IRDM is still my highest confidence of. The new place, IRDM is Iridium Communications. It's pushing up 1.54%. I remember you talking about Iridium actually. Looking across on this at the moment is up 1.4%. Zeta is pushing forward. Who was it that said they were in Zeta, but they only could sell at a wash because it was constantly rebounding up and down? seems to be on a bit of a downtrend at the moment, but I'm nearly certain one of you guys said you couldn't get out only for $16 or so. Iran is pushing forward massively, up 7.29% after that sell-off that happened on Friday. UMAC is pushing forward again, 2.08%. They were down massively after their cash raise. Archer sort of floating around this level, trying to build a base, 1.56%. Quite surprised that Joby's not pushing forward after their video flying around San Francisco over the weekend. We should not be making any damn deals, only surrender. That's what the only problem is, I don't think Iran will surrender, will they? I think they're just that regime is so head gone that they'd be willing to, go down with the ship. Wait a minute, my guys. Right, so Redwire. Does anyone know what's happening with Redwire at the moment? Let me just quickly have a look. It seems strange that it's pushing down. I can't see anything too negative about Redwire at the moment. Guys, if you know with Redwire at the moment, do jump in a little. Yeah, I can't see anything too wild. PANW up 1.58%, going across. How excited are you? 33% of you very excited. 67% of you say you are quite calm at the moment. Yeah, I think I'm in the calm boat. I don't know if I'm excited. Um, we said on Friday everything can change at the flick of a switch. Like at the moment, we're getting Trump saying there's going to be a deal this evening. It could be strikes are back on, or it could be deals made. So it's just a bit of a strange time. Nvidia is up 2.68%, so it's cooling off a bit. But Tesla, after their Terafab event, is pushing for 3.89%, 3.91%, 382 got all the way down to what was it, 367 or so, 364 on Friday. Rising aircraft, will we see a recovery back into the $180 range? I'm hoping. I want to close this week back above 180, but I don't know. It's so strange and hard to predict with Horizon Aircraft, very heavily held by retail investors, and it's not actually affected too heavily by the macro conditions, which is very, very strange. Intuitive Machines, have they got a deal today, or what's going on with Intuitive? Is there talks about the Artemis program at the moment? I can't see anything wild either. Is this all to do with Terafab? Yeah, I can't see anything majorly. ADMA is sitting quite flat, 0.73%. Same with ATA, 0.0%. Beta Technology, actually nice recovery there, 4.0. It wouldn't go near it, my guys. This is currently going through its lock-in period. That won't be over until May, I believe. So I would not be going near this anytime since May. Have you ever looked at Velo? Lunar is about to increase in lunar landings. Isaacman discussed over the weekend. Love it. Velo is up 7.98. What's the story with Velo? Why has everyone been speaking about this lately? I've seen it going around X at the moment. Price target of 21.50. Where are we now? 12. Producing sells metal additive three-dimensional printers in America, Europe, and internationally. The company printers enable. Oh, I remember these jet engines. I do remember these. I interviewed the CEO. They made the 3D printer SpaceX used for Falcon engines. Guys, if you haven't, follow Vasi and see Chris. He interviews an awful lot of CEOs. He's interviewed Velo 3D CEO. They do 3D printers for SpaceX. They also supply Anduril, another turnaround. And he's a new CEO. He's 8G. Um, they're based out of California, 105 employees. Looking across their financials. What is happening now? Are they only a new company? They must only be new, are they? 13 million. Gross profit of 433,000. Operating profit of 10.63 million. Total non-operated income of negative 1.209. Net income of negative 11.825. And EBITDA is negative 9.874 million. And big shout out, bought another 100 Joby shares in the pre-market. So you managed to get 100 shares during that flash crash that Goat was talking about. Goat only managed to get 5. You managed to get 100. I love that. If Trump is serious about talks, this won't be back under $9, but maybe a small screen to give him more time to get boots on the ground. That's why I'm thinking until saying that though, I seen there was 4,500 additional was it sailors put out to um, the Middle East, and they had 2,500 um, soldiers ready to go in as well. 3 extra warships as well are gone to the Middle East. They're switching the strategy from selling machines to providing services. They have the best in additive manufacturing capabilities, extensive IP moat. Are they only a new company, Chris? Or is just something gone wrong here? They've 11.842 million in total cash and short-term investments. Total current assets are 59.167 million. They do have property. Total non-current assets 34.732 million with total assets equaling 93. Short-term debt of 5.31. Current liabilities of 37.56 million. Long-term debt of 10.252. 63 million total liabilities. They don't seem too bad, but I just can't see anything further back from the quarters. Um, ASTI in my book is under my CB, but I did trim 30% on the last run. I'm talking to that CEO. A preferred Velo was a failing company, but a run ought to turn around. Okay. ASTI Ascent Solar. We can look at that in a minute, but I want to get back to Anne with Joby Aviation. So Joby at the moment pushing forward 152. You managed to get right in pre-market. Ooh, so you got in around here somewhere. That is wild. Yeah, look, I said Joby can go all the way down to $8 if conflict continued, but yeah, if we get a deal, I would expect the biggest green light, the biggest green candle the market has seen for a long time in all these spectrum plays. I think people will be rolling out of all them. I don't think everyone will be rolling out of defense, but I think you'll see a lot pivot, a lot of short term investors pivot out of defense again. I think they'll reallocate across. Do you think Archer and Joby, the amount of people that keep saying that Archer and Joby don't depend on oil? Yes, they don't depend on oil when they're operating, but the actual business, everything around this world, you need shipments, deliveries, people going to work. Everything depends on oil, guys. So yes, the actual vehicles don't operate using oil, but at the same time, of course, they're going to be affected by the oil prices. And then people, if you think in times like these, the last thing many people are thinking of, they've never heard of Archer and Joby, is going into a speculative play when it comes to air taxis. So there's no surprise it's selling off. Redwire seems to be recovering now. Um, will we see it push back above $9? I do believe we will. 894. We're sitting at minus 2.83 down. Nvidia pushing forward nicely. Seems to be recovering after that sell off that happened on Friday. TE can also be put in that turnaround basket. Or TE. T1 Energy. 1.85 billion. What are they up today? 4%. Are they just a complete downtrend? Oh no, they're not too bad, are they? Oh no. Spoke too soon. Oh no, they seem to be recovering quite nicely, haven't they? But is that a nice Fibonacci retracement there to keep continuing down? I don't know. Are you in them, Chris? Do let me know. Let's see what's happening across the industry. Right. Trump now has come out and said Israel will be happy with the outcome of his Iran deal. Um, he's now come out and said we have had very, very strong talks. We'll see where they lead. We have points, major points of agreement. I would say almost all points of agreement. Perhaps they haven't been conveyed. So he's pretty confident they are making a deal. The only thing, have you ever seen it? Have you ever read Trump's book about threat and double down? Then say deal is imminent, then start speaking about a deal complete, then you look like an absolute superhero. So I'm quite impressed the way Trump goes, but yes, it can be a little bit extreme when it doesn't feel like it's going right. Now, how excited are we for this week? 20% says very, 60% says calm, 20% says fearful. There's no problem with being fearful. I think people need to be honest when they are fearful. I think we live in a investing culture where everyone believes that they always have to say buy the dip. They always have cash available. I actually want to know this. I want to know, guys, if you have more than 10% of cash available, do vote in that poll. Because I do find it very interesting that many people are always buying the dip and they always are buying X amount of shares of Virgin Joby and whatever stock. And it's like, you guys either have the best income going, you always have cash available, so you must be massive investors, or I hate to say it, but some people just like to tell a few porcupines, don't they? Vassian C says, not financial advice, of course. These could all collapse in bad weather. Watch for debt levels in any speculative play. That's going to be the weakest foundation going into the future. Chris did have 10% this morning, now about 7%. Look at that. That's an honest man. You're down 7% cash, and that's no problem at all. I am under 0.1% cash at the moment. I've said I've around $3,000. I still haven't pulled the trigger. I was going to buy Horizon Aircraft, wasn't I? I had forgotten about that. What's Horizon sitting at now? 175. I don't know. I just throw like 100 quid at it or something. I don't want to jump the gun either. I'm quite excited where Rocket Lab's sitting at the moment at 67. I think there's a lot of catalysts coming up, and I think it's a much safer bet. 100% of people says no, they don't have less than 10%, or they don't have over 10% available. Vaccine C added on that contracts like a proper degen. Do you know what? Fair play to you. Dylan has been adding a few contracts on. He's been adding a few long leaps on Archer, I do believe. Which, look, I do believe we will get a nice turnaround coming into the summer, so he could be in for a decent amount of money. I have some limited buys on Iridium that didn't fill yet. What have you got them in for? Uh, what was Iridium sitting at? So 1%. I'm not touching eVTOLs until 2027. I was trying to fill at 25. Oh, okay. What's the average volume? 2.20 million. Just for context, my Joby average is now 963. Fair play. So slowly DCM while under my average. I'm aiming to load up in 10,000 shares per achieve FEA cert. Still got a bit of dry powder. I love it, Anne. Thank you so much for being honest. 7,800 shares. That's a nice position you've got there. And 963. You've got it well under that $10 range. So big shout out. Joby's going to run massively, especially if we get a. It's going to see the biggest green candle known to man and woman if we get a release in this conflict. Now, do I think Joby would still be going into Dubai um, in summer? I'm still quite skeptical about that. Even if they do open up the airspace, I think tensions in that part of the world will be quite tight for a while. Do you want Joby to risk it and jump in? Um, and I'm actually quite happy with what they're doing at the moment. I like to see how they'll roll out with the EIPP. Do I expect them to operate I before DIPP comes to a conclusion in the US? Yeah, on a small scale, I don't think we will get anything drastic until EIPP comes to conclusion. I think that'll be the whole case for all of the eVTOL players. Um, I'm actually starting to think Archer is a nice eVTOL play for defense, where if you are excited about the commercial side of eVTOLs, I think Joby is just your tried and trusted, and look, they're just proving out every day. So I think if you're more bullish on the commercial side, I think Joby is the better bet. But if you're more bullish on defense, I actually don't think Joby want to go after that defense market wholeheartedly. I think it is an addition to the business, but I think they're gonna use all their resources to just roll out with commercial operations. And look, that's what their business is focused on. So it's probably the right way to do it. Redwire is recovering still, 2.07% up. Nvidia 2.98%, PANW 1.64%, Tesla. Guys, did any of you manage to scoop up any Tesla on Friday? You're now up another 4.23% after that Terafab um, conference there the last day. That's the Archer and Joby risk Middle East rollout. Maybe DOA. We've seen Joby are kind of pivoting towards Japan now. And could we see a rollout in that Asian market? Would that be something that'd be bullish to me? I'm actually just happy seeing the flights at the moment that they're doing. So any types of commercial operations is a bonus for me. It doesn't bother me whether it's in Dubai, whether it's in Japan, or if they're just going to roll out under EIPP and demonstrate their capabilities. I think for this year, I would just be happy to see these in the public flying. Will they be carrying the public? It's hard to say, and when you get incidents like what happened with that Air Canada last night and the fire engine, you don't need any sort of bad negative news in this space. Now, would that have direct effect on the eVTOL industry? Not necessarily, but when you're getting accidents like that with your conventional planes and modes of transport, they're a little bit more reluctant to, add another plate to the mix. Horizon Aircraft 175. Lunar still up 9.09. Taking a bit of a breather at the moment. Will we see any further push up ADMA? Guys, how many of you are in biotech? Um, it's not an industry that I'm too well versed on. It's not something that really excites me, which is strange. I went to college to do um, animal and biosciences, so but it's just not an industry when it comes to making money that I want to get involved in. Guys, do smash that like button. It really helps us grow these streams out, and hopefully we will have our portfolio up and running by the end of today. And that'll be a little bit more exciting. At least then you guys can help. It'll be a little bit more interactive than it is now. It feels like at the moment I'm just rambling on. But do let me know. Um, let's see. 7 votes, so 14%. Okay, so you guys are actually being a lot more honest than I thought, um, you would be. Do you have over 10% of cash available? 14% say yes, and you have 86% say no. Thank you, whoever's reacting there. Big thank you. I can see that pushing through. I'm holding Joby long term, at least 2030. The noise right now is just par for the course of stocks. Made a few quid in the past on Tesla, Virgin Galactic. Did you short Virgin Galactic, or are you just trading it on little moves up now and again? Rocket Lab, that's my biggest position, and Palantir. Palantir is one I wish I got into. I think I've told many of you guys before, I just didn't understand it enough at the time. I think we were looking at it around 6.50 to $8 range, and nah, I didn't get in. Don't I regret that? But look, we live and we learn. Another one was Robinhood. I had Robinhood at 8.50 and I sold out at 11.50. And even though Robinhood has pulled back massively, look at where we are. We're currently at 72.90, but you got all the way up towards 153 or so. Palantir, yeah, way too late. Yeah, I is it too late? I think you'll get a nice bit of growth still out of Palantir, but none of them massive pushes that we've experienced so far. Dyke says, "Got a dip. I'll have to catch the rest later. Have a good day." Thank you so much, my guy. Um, Big support as always. I want to thank you so much. Then, okay, so we found out that we've over 10%. I'm just trying to learn about you guys as an audience. Just like I know you well in an eVTOL stream, I want to know a little bit more about you guys. Um, this is one. I want people to be honest here, and this will actually show a bit of um, character here. So, have you ever had a stock 10x? And I don't mean you were in a stock and it has 10x since. I mean you've held it all the way through the 10x. Um, do jump in and let me know. Vaccine C says, when I was found DD on Archer from the Hustle Brothers. Thank you so much, Chris. I don't know how we got pushed out so well during that whole run up of Archer. I appreciate any of you guys that have stopped with us. We hopefully will be bringing Adam to you very, very soon for an interview. I also want to interview Joe Ben as well. Scott Invest, Rocket Lab was my first 10x. That's same here. I haven't had a 10x since that, or not since that, apart from that, and that's being open and honest there. Ondas is getting close. I'm at 9x. Ooh, you will get 10x there, I believe. 50% says yes, 50% says no. Let us know what stocks have 10x for you. Rocket Lab was one we know. Hood for some people is 10x. Palantir has 10x. Nvidia. Did anyone hold Nvidia through that whole run? Um, Anyone that held Nvidia through the whole run, I actually admire you massively because there's a few times I thought it was getting overvalued. So I do respect anyone that held Nvidia through that. I had my anniversary first year in the market. You've only been in the market 1 year. You've done well. You know an awful lot about the market for um, only being in the market for 1 year. I wanna know, actually, this would be a better poll. How long have people been in the market for? So, right. How long have you been in the market for? Less than 6 months, um, 6 months to 2 years, 2 years to 5 years, or 5 years plus? Do have a vote on that. Um, Palantir, good day. Best Palantir opportunities are the ecosystems. That's how high foul on this Archer and you. Thank you. Um, Ondas had a deal with Palantir there very recently, haven't they? What is this? Right. So 67% have been in the market. 50% now have been in the market 5 plus years. 50% have been in the market 1 to 2 years. Okay. My first stock purchase was Palantir on the 3rd. Wait a minute. This always confuses me. That's March 12, 25. Do you know over here in Europe, that to me looks like the 3rd of December 25, and I was like, "Nah, you've definitely been here longer than that." Um, so the 12th of March 25. Been following the market since I was a kid, hacked my cable to watch CNBC before high school, and that has been working with Palantir a long time. It's the secret sauce behind the roll-up strategy. So you've been interested in the market, for since you've been a kid, and you've only started investing now. You're quite, sharp when it comes to the market, so big respect, Chris. So, let me just double check something here. I just wanna see, have Robinhood verified me out? Right, guys, please do something for me. Jump in, smash that like button. I'll be real with you, my throat is absolutely killing me at the moment. So, I am going to end this stream. I'm gonna see if Robinhood can come back to me in the next hour or so. If they can't, I'm gonna set up a brokerage, and I'll be back later for genuine community investing. Is that okay with you guys? Thank you so much for being here. Do smash the subscribe and the like button on the way out. Right, guys, my name is Liam. I'm the host of Browsers. Big thank you, and we will see you later.